episode of Financial Freedom Now podcast, your favorite podcast. My name is Toyin, and I'm so excited to bring you another great content. I mean, what are we talking about? It's all financial freedom, right? I'm absolutely well prepared for you today. I've got loads. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're listening to me or you're watching me. I want you to sit back, get a good drink, and let us get right into it. There's so much we need to talk about. We're all about financial freedom, which means we are very, very particular about being able to organize ourselves and make the most of our time. My name is Toyin once again, and welcome back to another episode of Financial Freedom Now podcast. We're going to be talking about why financial freedom today. Why financial freedom now? Why is this even important? One of the reasons why I decided to start off this new series and on financial freedom is in my pursuit for financial freedom. One of the major things that I wanted to do, and had been a major part of my life actually, and I think it's one of those things that you don't realize what it is. I mean, life puts certain things in your way, everything does align for you at some point in time. I decided, whilst I was obviously on my journey to achieving financial freedom, one of the things that I wanted and was very important to me was to ensure that I help others achieve the same. And that's why you're on this podcast, because I want to share my tips, the ideas, and all of the things that I've learned as I've sort of built my own journey and found my own way to financial freedom. And I want you to help you achieve the same. I really want to, in my pursuit, I've become so passionate about impacting not just women, not just youngsters, men, in achieving financial freedom. If you've listened to any of our previous podcast episodes, you would have found out that I am one of the ways that has helped achieve financial freedom is through property, and I'm very passionate about helping others do the same thing. But I think the first question we should ask ourselves is, what's financial freedom? What exactly are we talking about? And I've actually had some notes here, just well prepared for you. Financial freedom provides individuals ability to live the life you want, live life on your own terms. So that's what we're all about on this episode, on this podcast, is living life on your terms without being impacted or limited by your financial constraints. Now, I don't know about you, I've been in situations where I couldn't necessarily pay the bills, and oh my goodness, that killed any dream or desire that I had, because I was limited by the fact that I couldn't actually pay my bills. And so for me, it's very important, and this is why I share all of the nuggets I have. It's very important to be able to live life on my terms, and it's also very important to be able to live and dream and create and do what I really have been created for. It allows financial freedom, and not just financial freedom now allows for great flexibility. I have shared, and if you listen to me, I have shared previously how I felt stuck in a job that I loved. So it wasn't necessarily that I didn't love my job. I did love my job, but because of the constraints, and being a mom was important for me personally, and I couldn't necessarily do the things that I wanted to do because I had to be at a job that if I didn't go to work because of the nature and the contract of my job, if I wasn't at work, I didn't get paid. I didn't have the flexibility that most people would. I wasn't a permanent staff, so I didn't have time. I didn't have unpaid time. I didn't have paid time off. So for me, it was that constraint. So I don't know what the situation is with you, but are you in a situation where you feel that constraint? You feel that there is no flexibility. You can't do the things that you want. You're bound by setting timelines. Now, I'm not saying that we all shouldn't. You should be afraid of structure. Structure is a good thing, but it's just, what are the things that you are experiencing right now that allows you feel like you're in a box and you cannot actually move around, and I just those type of things. And also, it's the security as well. Sometimes it's not just even about the day-to-day. It's just also the feeling of you not knowing what tomorrow would look like. So which is why financial freedom now is important, because we don't want to be in a situation where you feel like you're not sure if where the next meal will come from. You're not sure if you can pay your mortgage. You're not sure if you're not even, pay your mortgage is actually level because you've actually bought a house. Maybe you have not even bought a property at all, and so you're totally bound by the by the desires of your landlord or your landlady. And so again, that feeling of insecurity, not knowing if you're going to be in this house next year, and all of those sort of things. So it cuts across a lot of things. And we also think that the other things why financial freedom now is important is also the pursuit of your personal desires, your personal goals, your passions. You know how you dreamt a lot as a child, those desires, those things you really wanted to achieve when you were older. How and as time has gone on, you've almost given up on that dream because of the day-to-day financial pursuits, and you are having to be at a 9 to 5 or be at a job that you don't want, or it might even be a job you like, but you just don't have the flexibility. So this is one of the reasons why we need to take our financial freedom important and start working towards it. It's a journey, don't get me wrong, it's a journey, but I want to help you start that journey today. And it's very important for us to actually start working towards that. I think I also want to highlight a few steps that I think very, very quickly. I mentioned a few steps that I think you need to take towards your financial freedom. First one, you need to set up a financial goal. There is no financial freedom if we don't even have a goal. We need to set up a financial goal, set up a budget of what you want to do on a monthly basis. There are lots of parameters in terms of setting up a financial goal, and if that's something you struggle with, then please definitely be in touch. We can actually help you with a template in terms of setting up your financial goals. So please do not hesitate in contacting us. Our email address you get through one of the means for lack of any clarity, academy@iconrange.co.uk, academy@iconrange.co.uk. So please get in touch if there's any confusion as to how you can actually get your financial goal. All will help you totally, no questions asked. You also need to be very good at tracking your spending. I started off in business very early on, being very good at making money, but I wasn't necessarily the best at tracking my spending. And no successful person would be able to get really far without actually being able to track what's going out. It's important to know what's coming in, but you also want to know what's going out. So I think steps to, we've established that this is important. Financial freedom is very important, but we need to understand how to sort of get it. So I'm just going to give you very quick tips on how to do that. And I think the other thing is you need to look at your existing incomings and outgoings. One of the things that you want to clear out very quickly is any high interest and debts. Debt is as we go along, you'll find that I'm not against debt at all, because there's something called good debt and bad debt. So I'm not against debt, but whatever it's really expensive and takes away most of your incoming, so high interest credit cards, high interest loans, high interest payment agreements that could be taken out. There should be a plan to actually start taking that off. You also want to build an emergency fund. I think a good example is when I left my 9 to 5, I literally took the leap and just went. I was going to property. For me, that was a decision I made, boom, and I'm an action taker, so I went for it straight away. However, one of the reasons why I did that was because it was almost like a sink or swim situation. I did not have that buffer to actually make this work, and so for the first year after leaving my 9 to 5 to do property full time, it was really stressful because there was no buffer. It was a case of sink or swim, and I was very petrified. However, the reverse was it wasn't the same for my husband Toby, who then had the income, we had the residual income from our property property portfolio coming in. So it was so easy. There was that the even working was at ease because he just had that comfort knowing that he had this emergency fund there. He had separate income coming in as well. Obviously, we will talk a lot about investing long term into properties, into other asset classes that would make you rich. Like I always say, very important thing is I do not like to reinvent the wheel when I don't need to. If you study the wealthiest people in the world, one of the things I'll say is check what asset classes they've invested in, and that will tell you where you want to invest your money. Doesn't mean that they all work, but I wouldn't, if someone else spent months, years investigating and finding out what's the best asset class, I'm just going to jump on it and make it work. So let's not make it work harder for us. There's a lot of things we're going to have to deal with. Your mindset, we're dealing with the skill sets, we're going to be dealing with a lot of things that, let's not complicate it with something else that we can actually avoid. Financial freedom is definitely important because it allows you to have control over your life, control over certain things. I mean, this is not looking into relationships. I have seen loads of relationships break down because of the lack of financial control. And whilst I'm not saying you deciding you want financial freedom today would automatically get you into a space where you feel control, it is a journey that you've got to start one day, and I'm asking you to start that journey today. So it allows you to have control over your finances, make choices that align with your goals and values. I mean, have you ever had to think twice about taking up a job or taking up some income source with something that doesn't align with your goal, but you almost feel like you don't have a choice because it's either you take that or you don't pay your bills, and that's not an option you actually want, is it? So it's very important that when you think about financial freedom, you start thinking it's not I always say this: financial freedom isn't a nice to have, it is a necessity for you to live comfortable here on the face of earth, accomplish your goals, live a purposeful life. You've got to have financial freedom. There's a limit, as in the amount of good you want to do in life. A lot of it is driven by your finances. So being a Christian, I'll reference to this, but one of the things that we know as being a Christian is that money answereth. It's in the Bible. It says money answereth all things. Now, I'm not saying money is everything, because I always believe that when there's life, there's a way, you can always find. I mean, I don't ever let money rule you. However, being in control of your finances, being able to say what you want to do when you want to do, is that amount of freedom you experience is unimaginable. It is great. Obviously, we talk about the security you get, and the stress level just goes down. Honestly, when you have money, you have reduced stress level. You're able to start thinking about the things you love. You're able to spend time with your loved ones. Guys, relationship is very, very key. It's almost like a currency that you need to operate. Being able to hang out with family and friends. I once went to a celebration with a friend of mine, and whilst we were at the celebration, quite half of the party literally had to start leaving. This was on a Sunday. Half of the party were leaving, and the conversation was, "Oh, I'm going to work, I'm doing this, I've got to," and I was like, oh my goodness, why am I in this crowd? I was like, I literally questioned, I was like, how come I'm in this crowd? And my heart longed out to just share with them that surely there must be a way. You could be in a job that requires you to be at work on Sunday, that's not a problem, but how are you not able to make a choice to say, I want to be here, I want to spend time with my loved one, I'm not going to cut my enjoyment or my flexing or whatever it is you want to call it short because I've got to go work. And I know it's not necessarily the fact, it's a choice, you can decide to stay or not, but from my experience speaking to that particular crowd, I realized it was more towards, there was not a choice in the matter. It wasn't because they wanted to, it was the case that they needed to. So understanding that you need to have time to choose and spend with the ones you loved is very good. And it also opens up a lot of opportunities with personal and professional growth. I used to like, I'm sure I'm not the only one, I used to like reading a lot as a child. And as I grew up and got involved and got entangled in the rat race, I almost forgot that I love to read. There was just no time to do that anymore. And it's just a case of why have we accepted the fact that we cannot do the things that we love anymore? Why can I choose to read, listen to podcasts, and we just find ourselves on the fast lane and we almost cannot pull ourselves back? That's not life. And contrary to what we've been made to think, and it's almost impossible, you can't do this, it's not life. You have a choice. You can actually achieve financial freedom by whatever means that you want to do it, all legal of course, and achieve the life that you want to live. And obviously it just helps build a solid foundation for you to live a comfortable and fulfilling life, being a good example, a good role models to the generation coming as well. So it's in every aspect you want to think about this. Having financial freedom is very key. Okay, it's not something that we should contemplate at all. It's not something that you it's not something I would say, well, it's optional. It's not optional. It is a necessity. So guys, yeah, you have it. There is no reason not to achieve your financial freedom. And this vodcast, wherever it is you listen to me, is all about helping you achieve your financial freedom now. So make sure you listen. Come back regularly, listen to the podcast, grab the tips that have been shared. There's going to be loads more being shared with you. Grab the tips that have been shared. I'm going to be bringing loads of people to talk to you about how to achieve your financial freedom. Well guys, doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're hanging out with me, your financial freedom is sure. We are going to help you on that path, on that journey to achieve your financial freedom now. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for listening to me. Please, you know what we ask you to do every time: like, subscribe, share this with your family and friends. Just like we share, I'm sharing all of the goodies with you. I want you to share this with your family and friends. Let them come on the journey of financial freedom. I always say there's a lot of room on top for everyone. Not only is there enough room, the more the merrier. It's boring if you're the only one at the top. So the more you share with your family and friends, when you want to hang out and go and travel the world, you have company, because they're not going to be tied up somewhere. They would have that financial freedom, and they can go. You can go on that girl's holiday, or you can go on the lad's holiday, because you have company. So like, subscribe, share this with your family and friends, and let's achieve financial freedom now. Thank you. My name is Toyin Ayadari.